Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, Tamara is starting her own business as a florist and needed to borrow $25,000. Which of the following credit options has the lowest amount of interest? Okay, so we're looking for, yes, of course, we want to find out which one is the one that will give her the lowest amount of interest. Because remember, interest means in this case, since she's gonna borrow money, then this interest is not that good, right? Because that means that she's gonna have to pay back the $25,000 plus any extra interest that accumulates in the time that she's gonna have the loan. So that's the reason why she wants to find the one with the lowest amount of interest. Okay, so we have some answer choices, but before we go into that, what about if we write down the formula that we use for simple interest? Okay, so for simple interest, there's one formula and it is in your formula chart, right? Now I'm gonna highlight the word here, and I notice that every single one of my answer choices, all of them is gonna be simple interest, so I need the same formula. Okay, now let's go ahead and go with what's given to me. Well, I do know that the principal, it's $25,000. Therefore, I'm gonna write down 25,000, right? And then I need to find the rate. Now remember, the rate is the percent that the person needs to pay back using that percent. And the percent in this case is 8.5%. But that needs to be written down as a decimal. Therefore, we need to write down 8.5 over 100. Is that right? And you can go ahead and write it in the calculator and you're gonna get 0.085. Okay, and that one is gonna go here. Then we have the time. Do we know the years that this is gonna happen? Well, it says 18 months. So you can write it as a fraction, right? We can write down 18 over 12 because of the 12 months, right? Now, if you put that in the calculator, it will give you a 1.5, right? So be very careful on what number you want to use. I am going to leave it as a fraction just because I don't want to be changing to the decimals or nothing like that. Okay, just be very careful because a lot of the students think that because 12 months are in a year and there's 6 more months, it's like a 1.6. But no, remember 6 months is actually half of the whole year because there's 12 months. So that is equals to 1.5 as a decimal. Okay, so be very careful. Now, if we input this on the calculator, okay, go ahead and do that. We have 3,187.5. So this is how much money she will need to pay extra, right? On top of that $25,000. So let's see if we can find a better deal for her than that one. Okay, so let's check on letter B. And of course, we're gonna do the same formula. So this one was A, and this will be B for us, okay? So let's go ahead and do letter B. The I is still there. This is 25,000. The rate, look at the rate for letter B, okay? The rate is 6.2%. Therefore, I am gonna divide that by 100. 6.2 over 100, okay? And that will give you a 0.062. Okay, so we're gonna write it down over here. And the time is 24 months, right? And 24 months, I can write it down as a fraction, right? So I can write down 24 over 12. And I know what you're thinking, isn't that 2 years? You can write down the 2 years if you wish. It's the same thing, okay? That 24 is the same as 2, right? So you can write down a 2 instead. Okay, let's go ahead and input all that in the calculator. Let's see what you guys get. So we have 3,100 right? That's it. So far, letter B is a little bit better than letter A, right? Okay, how about if we go to letter C, right? So let's work it out. Same formula because we're still working with simple interest. So we have I equals 25,000. Now, what about the rate for this one? The rate is 5.8, right? Which means it's going to be 5.8 over 100, right? And that gives me 0.058. What about the time? Okay, it's still in months. So this one says 12 months. What do you guys know about 12 months? Well, 12 months is equals to 1 year, right? So you can write down 12 over 12, or you can just write down a 1. And what do you get? Go ahead and put them in the calculator, guys. And let me know what you guys get for letter C. So we have I equals $1,450, right? Which right now is the lowest one so far, right? But we don't know yet until we finish letter B. Very good. So let's go ahead and work on that one. So for letter D, we have I equals, same principle, it's going to be 25,000, right? That doesn't change. What about the rate? Well, the rate says 3.5, right? So we're going to write down 3.5 out of 100. And that will be equals to 0.035. What about the time? Well, time it's 36 months, right? Does that ring the bell? Do you guys know anything about 36 months? You can write down 36 out of 12, right? Because it's 12 months in a year. And I know what you're thinking, Miss, isn't that equals to 3 years? And you will be correct. So we can write down a 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that in the calculator, please. And you get $2,625, right? So it looks like letter C is the best choice, right? Because it's under $2,000. Very good. So the answer will be letter C with $1,450 on interest for Tamara. Very good.